Hello, everyone, and welcome to the May edition of Price Know How Snippets. Lots to talk about again at the moment. I've got Mike with me to talk about some of the fundamentals that are likely to affect feedstock and therefore polymer prices. And then Ian's going to talk to us about what's been going on in the market. Over to you, Mike.
Thank you, Catherine. Crude oil. Well, obviously, the Strait of Hormuz is the key topic affecting crude oil prices. And comparing March to April in price in dollars per barrel, the average went from 97.49 to 102.46, an increase of $4.97. The minimum went from 77.74 to 90.38, an increase of $12.64. And the maximum shot up from 112.19 to 118.03, an increase of $5.84. Actually, volatility was slightly less in April than it was in March, with a range of $27.65 versus $34.45. For those who like our prices in pounds per tonne, which obviously relates better to polymer pricing and feedstock pricing, in March, the average price was £550.12 per tonne, and that went up to £573.85 per tonne, an increase of £23.73. Just moving on to exchange rates, the pound euro is very stable, 115 in March, 115 in April. What we actually saw in April was some dollar weakness, and we went to $1.35 and $1.33. Looking at how that relates to price per tonne, US cargoes, that's around about £33 per tonne difference, which helps to alleviate some of the upward pressure that's still being placed on feedstock and monomer. And with that, over to you, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yes, so as Mike indicated, increases in oil, and that's fed through to an increase in naphtha, fed through to an increase in the monomers. So ethylene up €100 a tonne to 1,695 euros per metric tonne. That's a record price since we moved to monthly negotiated contracts back in 2009. Propylene was up €120 a tonne to 1,585. Not yet a record for propylene. That was April 2022 when it hit 1675, the last time we had an energy crisis with the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. Are we at record pricing for polymers? Well, the general answer really is overall yes, certainly on LDPE, HDPE polypropylene. The slight exception would be LLDPE C4, which if you look at a market index is €10 shy of the record price achieved back in 2022 with that last crisis. What's going to happen to pricing in May? It's a tale of producers versus buyers. We've already had indications from our European produced partners that they are looking for the mono increase in May. I think what we will see will be some pushback. I think prices are at record levels, and it is causing some issues in terms of affordability and demand. So we're seeing this sort of pushback. I mean, we had increases way beyond the monomer in the last 2 months. So there is, if you like, margin in the pockets of the producers, which they're reluctant to give up, maybe forced to. It's a little bit early to say, but if demand sort of recovers, if supply continues to be constrained and, the Strait of Hormuz affects oil prices, it's also a significant transit for HDPE, polypropylene out of the Middle East. So if we continue to have restricted availability, then those increases are likely to be pushed through. If we see weak demand and sources of polyethylene and polypropylene from weird and wonderful places as it's being reported, then we could see some pressure in the other direction. It's volatile, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen, but there will be more information available to you later on in the month.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for everyone listening. We do appreciate that it's a really volatile situation at the moment, as Ian said. So please do contact us if you do need any further information. And just to reiterate that the full edition of Price Know How will be out around the middle of the month. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.